Hello, it's Miss Nicole of Legacy Lineage Online Learning in collaboration with Youth on Fire to present story time. This is one of my new favorites. I say that about most stories because I love stories. It's The Bad Seed. And parents, if you saw the snippet that prefaced this, I also want to add that while parents are their children's first and most influential teachers, I do want to say sometimes we need help. That's why I post all kind of different resources up for you. There are times where the ability to handle the trauma or the event can be outside of your expertise, and it is nice when we lean on family and friends, but sometimes we need to take our seeking for support a little further. Again, there are resources out there to help families to deal with this. I know I just talked about taking deep breaths and doing yoga, releasing endorphins by participating in Motivational Movement Monday, but there's so much more. And my little sign back here says family ever after, because the one message that I would like to leave is that even though traumatic events occur and there are ruptures, there is a place for healing and a place for reconciliation. So without further ado, let's get into The Bad Seed. All right, kids, you ready? Let's sing a movement song. The readers are here, so jump up and down, jump up and down, jump up and down. The readers are here, so jump up and down and sit right back down. Let's get those wiggles out before we have our story. Readers, readers, jump up and down. Readers, readers, jump up and down. Readers, readers, jump up and down. Turn around and sit down. Are you sitting? Are you comfy? Are you with a family member or a person you love? Are you snug up with them? Let's find out. I looked through my window, and who did I see? The readers and loved ones smiling at me. The Bad Seed. So since I've sung like 3 songs, I won't sing the story song. We'll get right into the story. The Bad Seed. And I also want you to just look at the cover. Did you notice that on the cover, the title is written in red? And who do you think wrote that? If you can see him, he's standing there with his red crayon. Right, The Bad Seed wrote it. Let's find out. What's going on? Why are they calling him bad and a bad seed? I'm a bad seed. A bad seed. Let me give you a chance to look at his picture. And what is his, what is his facial expression telling us? How does he feel? Maybe a little mischievous, angry, mad? Let's find out. Oh yeah, it's true. The other seeds, they look at me and they say, that seed is so bad. When they think I'm not listening, they mumble, there goes the bad seed. Look at them. They're all looking. How do they look? How do they feel about him? They look a little afraid to me, and look at him. He is stomping through there. What is his behavior saying? Maybe that he's upset about something. But I can hear them, and I have good hearing for a seed. How bad am I? You really want to know? So sometimes, right, when people don't think you're listening, you can hear the messages that they're saying about you. And how does that make you feel when you hear people saying messages? I'm sorry, guys. Messages about you that are bad. Maybe you're not bad. Maybe you just need some help. Got some things going on? Let's find out. Well, I never put things back where they belong. That's how bad I am. I'm late to everything. I tell jokes with no punchlines. I never wash my hands. Oh, right now, that's not only bad, that's dangerous. And it's always been good to wash your hands. That's a side note. Or my feet. If he never washes his feet, what do you think they smell like? I lie about pointless stuff, and I cut in line every time. So his behavior is telling us that he is doing things that are not only bad for him, but they affect other people too. I stare at everybody. I glare at everybody. I finish everybody's sentences and I never listen. And I do lots of other bad things too. Know why? Because I'm a bad seed. A bad seed. I just can't help it. Sure, I wasn't always this bad. I was born a humble seed on a simple sunflower in an unremarkable field. I had a big family, seeds everywhere. We found ways of having fun. We were close. Let's show you his family. So his sunflower and all the other seeds in his family. He said they had fun and they were close. He didn't always feel like this. Let's find out what happened. But then the petals dropped and our flower drooped. And there they all falling out. It's kind of a blur. I remember a big bag. So after his family fell apart and the flower drooped, the place that they called home, then something else came along. What is that? It's a big rake. And then where'd he end up? He said he just remembers a bag. So much going on, he can't even remember. Aw, seed. Everything went dark. And then I'm gonna take some time with this picture and let you see. He said everything went dark. And then, how must he be feeling right now? So confused or alone, sad. A giant! Oh my gosh, on top of being in the seed and all dark and not knowing what's going on, here comes a giant. And what's funny about this story? He's really a sunflower seed, right? Yeah, and he's just telling the story about what naturally happens to a seed, but he wasn't expecting this. I thought I was a goner. I thought I was done for. I screamed! Ah! I hollered! But I was spit out on the last possible second. Look at him. He's like, no, I'm going into the mouth of a giant. If you've seen Wreck-It Ralph, Sour Bill says, please don't put me in your nasty mouth. I flew through the air and I landed under the bleachers with a hard thud. When I woke up, it was dark outside. I had a wad of gum softening my fall. I felt okay, but something had changed in me. I became a different seed entirely. I became a bad seed. Look at him. So all that he went through and just got him so upset. He doesn't know what to do with all of it. And so he said, I'm changed. And that is a sign of trauma. It can change you. But let's find out if you have to stay that way. He became a bad seed. That's right. I stopped smiling and I kept to myself. I drifted. I was a friend to nobody and bad to everybody. I was lost on purpose. I lived inside a soda can. I didn't care and it suited me. You really think he wants to live like this? You think he wants to be bad? Or really mad? Before he said his family was joyful and they played music and had lots of fun. Until recently, I've made a big decision. I've decided I don't want to be a bad seed anymore. He made a choice. I'm ready to be happy. It's hard to be good when you're so used to being bad, but I'm trying. I'm taking it one day at a time. Sure, I still forget to listen and I'll show up late sometimes and I still talk during movies. I do all kind of other bad stuff too. Because nobody's nerfic. That means nobody's perfect. So we're still going to make mistakes and get things wrong, but at least he's made a decision. Do you know what a decision is? It's when you set your mind to do something. When you set your mind to do something. And if you mess up, you just set your mind again. I'm going to keep trying. But it says, I also say thank you, and I say please, and I smile. And I hold doors open for people. Not always, but sometimes. And even though I still feel bad sometimes, I also feel kind of good. It's sort of a mix. All I can do is keep trying and keep thinking. Maybe I'm not such a bad seed after all. Yay! I'm so happy for the seed. Yay, seed. It's gonna get better. And if he can do this all alone, imagine what he can do with the help of people that love him. Hey, look, there goes that bad seed. Actually, he's not all that bad anymore. I remember he said he hears, and it says, I heard that. But this time he feels good because the messages that he's hearing are positive. They're good. You see that pistachio? The pistachio saying he's not all that bad anymore. I encourage you to go back and maybe pause on the pictures, and you can really look at the illustrations because they're really great, and all the different type of seeds that are in this story. And here on the back we have a peanut and an almond, and the peanut is saying, there is a bad seed. And the almond is like, he's not so bad. The bad seed. Wow, the not so bad seed. Thank you for joining me.